Los Angeles homicide detectives are holding a news conference later today to explain why they've decided to take a new look at the death of Natalie Wood, reopening that case. The actress drowned off Southern California 30 years ago this month after a stellar career. It began, of course, when she was just a young girl. Wood starred in classics like A Miracle on 34th Street, Splendor in the Grass, and, of course, West Side Story. She also made headlines by marrying Robert Wagner, divorcing him, then remarrying him years later.
Incredible story, and what a development here. In 1981, Wagner and Wood invited Christopher Walken to join them for Thanksgiving on their yacht. The official story is that Wood was drinking heavily and somehow fell into the water. Her death was ruled an accident. But now an investigation by 48 Hours Mystery and Vanity Fair magazine has uncovered new evidence.
It was Thanksgiving weekend in 1981. A call goes out from the Splendor, a boat owned by Robert Wagner, saying that someone is missing from their boat. Six hours later, the body of his wife, Natalie Wood, was found floating in the Pacific Ocean off of Catalina Island, drowned.
It was a Sunday morning. When I picked up the phone, it was RJ, and he just screamed into the phone, "She's gone."
The coroner's autopsy indicated Miss Wood had died by accident. She attempted to board this rubber dinghy. It was here that she fell and drowned.
That story is 100% false. Natalie would never in a million years take that dinghy out by herself. She would have gotten me.
Dennis Davern was a member of their family. He was both a bodyguard and a confidant of Natalie's. And I think it was very hard for him to tell this story.
I just didn't want my whole life to go by without having the truth come out.
Dennis Davern's story has changed. He's even sold it. Some people question his motives, but others believe he holds a dangerous truth.
I believe Natalie Wood was left to die. My name is Marty Ruley. I'm a longtime friend of Dennis Davern, and for close to 30 years I've investigated Natalie Wood's death.
That investigation has led to a stunning development in one of Hollywood's most enduring mysteries. The LA Sheriff's Department has officially reopened the case.
Natalie Wood deserves the truth attached to her legend.
Joining us now is Sam Kashner, a contributing editor for Vanity Fair magazine. Good to have you with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
As all of this is coming up again, there was, of course, the story that was out at the time that pretty much, was all we heard. But in 2000, you actually spoke with the captain of the boat. He gave you a different account. What did he tell you?
Right. Well, for the first time, I spoke to him about 10 years ago. It was 20 years since the event then. And he said for the first time that the account that he, Robert Wagner, and Chris Walken gave to the police that weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, by the way, was pretty much bogus and not the real account of what happened that night.
But there are others besides just Dennis Davern whose recollection of what happened differs from the Wagner-Walken accounts?
Well, we don't know. I mean, Dennis Davern was the only person to come forward because his conscience was bothering him all these years. He felt that he was there to serve and protect Natalie Wood, and he was the captain of this boat, and so he felt that he felt compelled to tell what he said was the true account of what happened that weekend.
And I guess one of the questions then is if there are others and to what extent they are.
Right, because there was another account though from someone on a boat nearby.
Well,
correct?
Yes. I mean, 48 hours will reveal an ear witness, a woman who was on a boat moored nearby, and she heard a woman's cry for help.
Which is so, I mean, it's a story that has fascinated so many people. Of course, this gorgeous young woman who we know had this deadly fear, as it was described, of dark water.
Right.
Ultimately, finding her death in that. it has apparently haunted the captain of the boat. You say he was really haunted by it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that's why he finally came forward, because it was always believed that Natalie Wood just disappeared from the boat during a pleasant weekend with Chris Walken as their guest. And in fact, that's not what happened. Dennis Davern characterized that Thanksgiving weekend as the Thanksgiving from hell.
And it was all about this dinghy.
Well, that was the reason given for why she perhaps fell into the water. That
she was trying to secure it. And
right. But Dennis insists that the dinghy was secured with 2 strong, powerful cables. And it's a rubber dinghy. I mean, how much noise could it have made, you know? And furthermore, he said that she would never have gone in that dinghy or attempted to go in the dinghy by herself. As you say, she had a dread of dark water.
So many new questions now, 30 years later, some still lingering.
Fascinating.
Appreciate you coming in this morning. Thank you.